If you're interested in learning to read tarot and you haven't yet gotten your first deck, this video is for you. Maybe you've even looked on Amazon, for example, and you've felt overwhelmed with all the choices out there. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 main considerations you need to take before you purchase your deck. Consideration number 1. There are 3 schools of tarot. One is called the Rider-Waite-Smith, or RWS for short. Then there's what's called the Thoth School of Tarot, THOTH, and the Tarot de Marseille. Okay, so these are 3. The decks are all tarot decks. They all have 78 cards, like a standard tarot deck, and are very similar in a lot of ways, but they vary in some specific differences. I'll make other videos about that. That's what you need to be aware of. The second thing you need to be aware of is you want to start ideally with a Rider-Waite-Smith based deck. And there's a reason for this. The reason is that the vast majority, 95% or so probably, I don't know the exact statistic, but the vast majority of tarot decks on the market are based upon the Rider-Waite-Smith school of tarot in some way, either very closely or at least loosely. See the description box. Actually, I'm going to put a few examples of some of those decks that are Rider-Waite-Smith based that you can check out for yourself. And that brings me to, you know what, before I get there, I'm going to show you, here's an original, for example, Temperance card from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Okay. And here's Temperance from a very popular deck, which I highly recommend as well to start with. This one here, it's called the Light Seers deck by Chris Ann Donnelly. So if you can see the similarities, the main theme is fire and water, or 2 different elements being combined by an angelic or spiritual type presence. Here's the Temperance card from the Gilded Tarot Royale compared to the original Rider-Waite-Smith. I love this deck. I've been using it for years. It's one of my main decks, one of my go-to decks. It's by Ciro Marchetti, or Ciro Marchetti. You can see that element, or that theme of the 2 different elements being combined by an angelic presence. And this one's very similar. This one here, this is called the Robin Wood Tarot by Robin Wood, compared to the original Rider-Waite-Smith. And this is an example of the Tarot de Marseille. This is the box. This would be the juggler, or the magician, as it's now called in the Rider-Waite-Smith school. This is an example of a Thoth deck. The back looks like this. And the cards are stunning. The artwork is stunning. But it's slightly different than the Rider-Waite-Smith. And the other reason to get the Rider-Waite-Smith type to start with, at least, is you can always branch off to learning about Thoth. I use Thoth deck quite often as well, or Tarot de Marseille. But to start with, the Rider-Waite-Smith is the place to start, not only because most of the decks on the market are based upon that template, but so are most of the learning resources. Most of the learning resources out there use Rider-Waite-Smith type decks. Okay, so it'll be easier for you. Brings us to consideration number 3. You want the deck to connect with you. What does that mean? It means you can work with it. You feel a resonance or congruence with that deck. And you can't really know until you own the deck or have the deck and work with it for a little while. I live in a household, between my wife and I, she's a reader as well. We have 600 or 700 decks between the 2 of us. And I've had decks that I thought I was really going to love and I was excited to get, and then I just didn't connect with them. The artwork was stunning, and they were interesting, the theme they're based upon, but I just didn't connect. And I've had other decks that I wasn't quite as excited about. Maybe I got it for Christmas as a gift or something. I wasn't sure what it was about, and I ended up loving it. and connecting with it. So that's something that is a combination of your personal taste with artwork and how you appreciate artwork and the beauty in the artwork, which is another factor, as well as the meanings. The meanings that I can't state that it's enough. Yes, intuition comes into it, and even psychic abilities and impressions will come through as you begin to work with tarot more and more, and you do hundreds upon hundreds of readings. But in the beginning, you do need to learn. You do need to roll up your sleeves and study. You need to memorize at least 1 or 2 keywords for each card. And you need to understand the structure of the tarot deck, at least to begin. Part of that is being able to connect the meanings that you have. And you'll get your own personal meanings too. That's another topic. But as you develop these meanings, you want to be able to connect that meaning with the picture in the card as well. That's another part of connecting with the deck. Other factors are the size of the cards, how they fit in your hands and feel in your hands as you shuffle, the thickness of the cards, the stiffness of the card stock itself. I even take into consideration the back. I like to appreciate the artwork on the back as well. To me, it's not super important, but it's a bonus if you like the artwork on the back as well. And if you read reversals, that's down the road. I wouldn't recommend starting right away with reversals. That'll be too confusing. But if you eventually do, you want something that can look the same both ways. But those are the 3 main considerations. Just to recap, number 1, there are 3 schools. Number 2, you want to get the Rider-Waite-Smith based deck. Number 3, that appeals to you at least to start with, and then from there, as you work with it, you can add to your collection slowly or quickly, however it goes, and you'll get more of an idea, and you'll definitely find the deck that you love working with, and you'll find eventually several decks on your tarot journey that you love working with. And I have the first part to this video coming up. You can watch that. Thank you so much for making it this far. The light in me sees the light in you.